Welcome back to Supercharge. My name is Sonal, an HR director, and this channel is all about sharing practical tips on how to supercharge your career. So the salary related question is a tricky one because it has a direct impact on your current and future earning potential. So I would say it's pretty important to do your homework, and I'm here to help you do just that. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about why they ask you this question. What are some of the common beliefs that are, circulating around? I'm sure you've seen other videos and articles, and some say do this and some say do the exact opposite. I'm going to shed a little bit of light on that. Then we're going to talk about an approach that I have created that will hopefully help you. And at the end, we're going to have a sample answer. So let's get started. So why do they ask this question? It's really simple. They want to weed you out if you are too expensive for them. That's it. They don't want to waste their time. Now let's talk about some beliefs regarding the first part of the question. What is your current salary? The first belief is, if they are asking me this question, it means, yes, I've done it. It's a buying signal. Not really. In fact, they even ask this question way before the interview stage, which is at the start when you're filling up the job application form online or even on the telephone. It does not mean anything. The second belief is, some people think they can lie and get away with it. It's a really bad idea, not just because you don't want to start a relationship with dishonesty. The other reason is it's very easy for the company to find out because they need papers for the hospitalization insurance and vacation pay and all of the admin reasons. And when they do find out that you've lied, the process will stop right there. So it's not worth it. The third belief out there is that people feel if they have a low salary, they are at a disadvantage. And that's not necessarily true. Let me explain how the salary for a position is calculated. It's based on a budget. Every position has a budget. And the budget is based on external as well as internal factors. External factors being, what would a position like this earn outside in a similar company, in a similar industry, as well as internal factors. So what would someone at the same level with the same level of responsibilities make in terms of salary within either the same team or similar level in other departments in the company? So they need to the company needs to ensure there is parity between both external as well as internal, and then a budget is calculated. So for example, if the budget of a position is 100 and you are earning 60 and they find your resume and they like you, they're not necessarily thinking, yes, we got a discount. It does not work this way. What they're going to try to do is, if they like you, they're going to get you on board at a reasonable number, something like 70, for example. And then within a year or so, when the time comes to evaluate your performance, and if you are a good performer, they want to try and get you as close to the budget as possible, as quickly as possible. It's in their interest to do so. If they don't do that, what happens is down the road, they know you're going to go make friends with other people in the company, and one day over a beer, you're talking about salaries, and then you find out people are in the 100 range and you're in the 60 or 70 range. You're going to be completely outraged and you're going to get ticked off and say, I'm out of here. They don't want that. It's too expensive for them to go out and find a replacement for you. It's time consuming, and that's not what they want. And the other thing I'd like you to know is, when you meet people and you hear they got a salary offer that was 20% more than what they were making, or 30, 40, 50, even 60% than what they were making before, now you know they were below the market. So just because you're earning less, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It could even work in your favor. So let's talk about the approach that I've developed for you. This approach is called salary. Yeah, that's easy to remember. Salary. But let's imagine for a second that we are Sean Connery, so it's the salary approach. Let's look at the salary approach, shall we? So the S in salary approach is selling yourself. The reason this position exists is because they have a gap. Try and immediately get into the process and show them how you can address their gap, how you are an answer to their prayers, and how you bring value to the table so that they love you. And when they do, this will be a lot easier as a process towards the end when we have a negotiation. The next thing to remember is holding your ground, being assertive. And I will talk about that compared to the next point. It's not easy. I've seen people sometimes becoming too arrogant. So when they're asked, what would you like to earn? They'll be like, make me an offer I can't refuse. That sounds arrogant. Or the complete mirror opposite of that, which is too humble, which is like, yeah, you can pay me whatever you'd like. That's also a problem. No, don't do that. The A is avoid. Avoid as far as possible giving them a number or a range. Both are problematic. And let's see this one with an example. Let's say the position has a budget of 100, but obviously you don't know that. So they ask you, what would you like? And you say, 70. Or you say 120. Both are problematic. If you say 70, you've left 30 cash on the table. If you say 80, you've left 20 cash on the table. If you say 120, you're too expensive for them. They can't afford you. Bye-bye. And the same goes for giving them a range. Same example. Let's say you want to earn 75. So you tell them, yes, I'd like between 70 and 80. You said 70 to 80. I heard 70. You hope that I heard 80. You see, that's how the human mind works. So both approaches, giving a number and giving a range, are limiting your chances. Next thing that you try to remember is let them initiate the salary related point. Let them do it, not you. L, let them. So the A in the salary approach talks about answering the question with an answer, with a statement, which is kind of obvious. But you could, look at other suggestions where people say, answer this question with a question, which means ask them, what are you willing to pay me? What is the range you had in mind? There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I personally, as a recruiter, don't like it. So if you want to deflect this question and distract them, there are other ways to do it, and we will look at it together when we look at the sample answer. R in the Shallery approach stands for research, and that basically means do your homework. There's a couple of websites that I will link down in the description, Glassdoor, PayScale, where you can see what would somebody with your position be earning in your local market. However, sometimes I feel like the data can be outdated, so the best approach would be talk to a friend or anybody you know who you trust who is in the headhunting or in the recruitment industry. And if you don't have such a friend, make one, because you never know when you need them. They're kind of useful. The Y, finally, in the Shallery approach is related to your non-verbal communication. I'm sure you know this. 90% of everything you say is actually in terms of your non-verbal communication, in terms of your body language and your tone of voice, and only 10% is related to the words that you say. So when you are asked this question, next time, just give them a big smile like Sean Connery and charm the heck out of them. And here I have a suggestion for an answer that you can give them. I've very much enjoyed our conversations, and I'm really excited about the position and the company. It feels like we are a really good fit. If you do make me an offer, please know that I will seriously consider it. I'm not here to waste your time. And then if they really push you and still want to know a number, it's difficult for me to answer this at this stage. Salary for me is one part of the equation. Hence, I would need to study the offer in its entirety to make an informed decision. I'd love to talk numbers once an offer is on the table, but till then, it feels premature. So this whole process is actually a great lesson in assertiveness, in skills and assertiveness. They're asking you to do something and you're saying, no, thank you, I'm not going to tell you. And that's not easy, but these assertive skills, once used strategically down the road, will not only win respect from your future employer, but they will also get you what you want. So that's it. That's the Shallery approach. So spend a lot of time preparing on how you can sell yourself and how you can bring value to them. Hold your ground no matter what. Avoid giving them a number or a range as far as possible. Let them initiate the topic of salary. Don't be the one to do so. And then the A is answer with an answer as opposed to a question. R is the research, the homework. Make sure you have an idea of the range or numbers before you get into the meeting. And finally, your body language. Keep in mind that it speaks louder than words. I hope this approach is useful, and if it is, do give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, much more than you know. There's plenty more where this came from, so consider subscribing. So this is Supercharge signing off, and I shall see you in the next video. Ciao!